Hey everybody, welcome back. I am doing this review from the quiet and protection of my car. I haven't been able to do it in my regular spot, and it's raining outside, so I didn't want to do it outdoors. And I thought, well, I don't mind filming in the car. Today's review is, considering the weather, probably a bit funny. I'm going to be reviewing this fragrance. It is Gorse by Laboratory Perfumes. This was released in 2012. I have had my eye on this for a couple of years actually, and the reason being is that this probably is one of the perfumes that gets talked about when we're talking about, I guess, alternatives, dupes, clones of Creed's Virgin Island water. Now, as a rule, I'm generally against clones, specifically clone houses that, where their main trade is just cloning more popular original perfumes. As far as Laboratory Perfumes go, the house, I'm not sure about. I haven't smelled any of their other fragrances. I've only smelled this one, and I don't know if their other fragrances smell like other well-known popular fragrances. I decided that as part of this review for Gorse, I would do a comparison, just a general comparison. I don't want to, go into too much detail, and kind of describe the differences between Gorse and Virgin Island water. Virgin Island water was released 5 years earlier. Their official note listing for Virgin Island water does list a lot more notes. I've got a decant here, and I have no idea what the batch code is for this particular Virgin Island water. So for those of you not familiar, we're talking about a tropical kind of quintessential summer tropical vibe, coconut, lime, rum. This is specific to Virgin Island water. I'm going to spray Gorse on one hand, and I do have the dry down going a little bit, but I'll just spray the opening because I find that the opening is where a lot of the difference is between Gorse and Virgin Island water. So I've got Gorse on this arm, and that's good projection, by the way, and Virgin Island water on this arm. Okay. So I get citrus and I get a coconut accord there. And also with Virgin Island water, the main difference I find is that the Gorse has a bit more creaminess in the opening. The coconut side of it stands out more. Now, I should point out at this stage, coconut is actually not an officially listed note on Gorse. They list Gorse is actually the name of the shrub of a shrub that actually grows on coastlands that actually does have a coconutty smell. As to whether this actually has any coconut kind of ingredients in it, I'm not sure, but it does smell like coconut. So that's kind of really the important thing. Now, when I smell Gorse, the citruses are a bit more toned down here compared to Virgin Island water. Now, lime in Virgin Island water is more pronounced, okay? Whereas the citrus that I get from Gorse is closer to bergamot than it is to lime. And in the first 5 minutes, what I would tell you is that Gorse has a bit more body to it than Virgin Island water does. It's not to say that that's a better thing. Virgin Island water seems a little bit more delicate. Now, at that point, the interesting thing for me is that Gorse is an eau de toilette concentration, whereas Virgin Island water is eau de parfum. I get more projection in that, like when I hold my arms a bit away from me, I can smell the Gorse a lot more than I can the Virgin Island water. Definitely the citrus notes in the Virgin Island water kind of hold their place for a bit longer than they do with the Gorse. Now the Gorse remains creamier, a bit more solid. I don't smell anything of the cardamom that they list here for the Gorse, but there is certainly some underlying base, that retains its structure a little bit more on my skin. These aren't overly complicated fragrances. Now, Virgin Island water, I've always loved the smell of, and it's really just a nostalgic thing for me because it's very hard not to like that kind of tropical vacation summer vibe that you get with Virgin Island water, albeit it's not a totally versatile fragrance because, it is the middle of winter here. These are something I much prefer wearing in warmer weather as well. So as complex as the note pyramid of Virgin Island water would have you believe, really, ultimately, it's lovely lime, coconut, and rum base, and Gorse is pretty much the same. I would say the main differences are lime is more accentuated in Virgin Island water and the coconut is more accentuated in Gorse. Look, for me, I tend, with my experience wearing both of these perfumes, I would tend to say that I can smell Gorse on my skin for longer during the day than I can Virgin Island water. I'm always a little bit disappointed by how little Virgin Island water lasts on my skin, and I was much pleasantly surprised with how Gorse performed on my skin. And then, given that their price points, whereas Gorse is a lot cheaper, and Virgin Island water is a creed. So I don't think, to my nose, Gorse smells more synthetic or cheaper in any way. I think it's a very, very good alternative. In fact, an excellent alternative, given that I've got a bottle of Gorse, I've got a decant of Virgin Island water, and I won't need to be buying any more of it, unless you really, really want that lime note that Virgin Island water has that is kind of missing in Gorse. So they're not like 100% the same, each of them, but I think I get enough of that tropical vacation vibe from Gorse that it is, good enough for me to keep as one of those lovely hot weather scents that I'll keep in my wardrobe. So I get at least 6 to 7 hours performance with Gorse, which is, I think, pretty fantastic. Given it's an EDT, given the type of fragrance it is, highly recommended. But of course, if you have your own philosophical reasons, like I do to an extent, for buying stuff that might be perceived as a clone, then I completely understand. In this case, really, I wanted that particular scent. I didn't want to spend Creed money on something like that. And in fact, I liked the Gorse better because, it was creamier. I didn't care that much about the lime note, and it performed better. So I justified my purchase that way, and it made more sense to me. But let me know if you tried it, and please, if anyone has tried other laboratory perfume scents, I'd love to hear what you think of them and if they smell like anything else. So that's it from me. Thank you for watching, and I hope you found that informative. Bye.